This tutorial will be about placing some windows in to the floor plan, but I would suggest that I'm really not happy with the distance between the walk-in closet and where I might have a bench. Ideally, it would be closer. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to come in and have your bench way over here and then your closet way over here. But it's a class project. If this were a real project, I would really investigate the arrangement of that because I don't think it's ideal. But this just something that I noticed and I'm a little concerned about, but not for this class. It certainly works fine. The other thing is you might think that 2 washers and 2 dryers is ridiculous. And many of my clients that I've suggested that to have also had the same reaction to it. But I can admit to you that having 2 washers and 2 dryers is very, very efficient in terms of loading that up. But anyway, we're doing windows, so we'll get right into that because this might be a little bit longer of a tutorial. I'll only do the windows on the first floor to begin with. So it's kind of nice. I have my floor plan here. I'm going to start in the laundry room and just work my way around the house and putting in the windows. And I'd like to look at it in 3-dimension at the same time. I want to see what things look like. And I can see now I'm looking at that the elevation of this should be lower. So I think that's 3 feet lower. So I'm just going to drop that down right away. Yes, because when your car comes in, it actually comes in at grade, and the door has to be at the same level as the grade is. It might be a little bit low here. Again, not what we're working on here, so we should still focus on that real quick just to see what's going on here. I think see the door is a little bit lower than it's supposed to be. No, this is the grade right here. And that's where the door is. So it's a foot lower than it should be. So I'll just raise that up to -2 feet. And now it looks too high. Let's see. It should be right at the grade. So I'll measure that again from here to here, making sure that this is vertical. 4 inches, so I'm going to have to drop that down another 4 inches. So let's say -2'4", and let's see what happens. Okay, back to the 3D view now. I'm just cleaning up. When I look around at different parts of what I'm drawing, I know this is a tutorial on Windows, but as I see something that's not right, I might as well fix it right then rather than maybe forget about it until a later time. But anyway, so here's this is my laundry room, looking at it in the floor plan. I went to Revit City and I downloaded some Colby, Kolbe casements. I downloaded 1 casement wide, 2 casement wide, 3 casement wide, 4 casement wide. And because I have really high ceilings in this project, I downloaded a transom as well. The transom wasn't functioning properly, and I sent an email to Colby and told them that their transom window didn't function right in Revit properly. And immediately I received an email back from from someone at their company, and it took them a day, but this morning I received modified transom. So I don't know if the transoms are correct yet on their site, but I have the proper transom, and when I talk about transom, that'll make sense in a minute. So basically the first thing I would do here is go up to architecture and go up to window, and I'm going to pick, I have some Colby windows here. If we take a look at it, I have Colby Ultra Series casement, 2 wide. So I have 1 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide, and 4 wide. So that's 4 casements in a row, 3 casements horizontally, 2 or just 1. So I am thinking that I might have upper cabinets across here. I might have upper cabinets across here, but I'm not going to put any upper cabinets on this side because I think that with the base cabinets and the upper cabinets, at least on this side, that should be more than adequate. So and the reason that's important is I'm thinking about, well, how much room do I have here for windows? And I can probably put in a nice 3 wide casement right in here. So I'll click kind of close to where I want it to be. Now, if you take a look at this, it is the offset into the wall, and this is what the issue was with the transom. The offset into the wall is 4 inches. So make sure we set it back that 4 inches. And what happens is when you initially put the window in, it's all the way out at the face of the brick. And the windows don't fit that way. They're put in the wall and the brick is built around them. So I'm going to line that up, and that'll be the extent of my concern about that window right now, is that it's lined up. And I'll go back in and fine tune all of these window sizes after I have them kind of where I want them. So I'll say that architecture window, I'm going to go with the 2 wide for now. We know it's pretty simple to change these things, but I'm just going to have a 2 wide here and put that in. And so now it has to line up with the center of the sink. And I'm concerned, maybe I could put a 3 wide in there, but I'll come back and make these casements, each window, a little bit wider. There'll still be only 2 casements here. It's probably better, and if you think about it, to make it 3 wide, because when you're standing right here at the middle of the sink, you'd see this mullion right here. But 2's fine. Usually we don't stand at the middle of the sink. We work on one side or the other. So let's go back here and here and here. I want to have what I call a sliding glass door wall. So that's a door that opens by sliding from one side to the other, and it has full glass from floor to whatever the top of the window is or door is. So I'm working on windows, so I'm going to simply do that and leave that alone right now until I get my windows in. Now I'm over into the great room. Still haven't decided if I want an opening here or not. I'll probably go with one. But the question now is there going to be a fireplace in the living room or the great room? And I can put the fireplace on this wall and then put 2 door walls again on both sides of it. Or I can put the fireplace on this wall and put some casement windows on both sides of it. From a furniture arrangement point of view, if I pick this wall as the fireplace, I can put furniture around there, but I'll have a lot of extra depth here. If I put the fireplace on this side, I can put furniture around it and have a much wider arrangement of furniture, if optional, if I want to. So I'm going to assume right now that I'm putting my windows on here. So I'll just put those in real simply, real quick, window. And now I want the 3 wide. So let's see what we have here. Here's my 3 wide. And I'll just put one here. And I'll put one here. And then over here, I'm going to go back to the 2 wide, but I'm going to make them, the window panel of glass itself, I'm going to actually make it less. So how we have the 2 wide. And I'm just putting that in. I know it wants to be centered here. So here I don't really know where the exact location is going to be yet. So I want it centered from the inside. I'll measure it again. I don't know what happened there, but I undid it. I'm going to measure from the face of the gypsum board of the stairway to the center of the window, and then back to the face of the gypsum board again. And I only put one dimension in, so I can come back down and add that second one right now. All right, and then say equal, escape, escape, click on this, delete, hit enter, and it's accepted that I want to delete the constraints. Now I'm in the powder room. I think one window is fine there. Architecture, window, and one wide, and I'll put that guy right there. The elements, oh, there's two windows there. Maybe I double clicked with my mouse. Whoa. Okay, so there's my window, but look at it's backwards. The glass is, the brick mold fits on this wall here, and the glass should be on the outside. Not a big deal. I'll just use this little arrow here. And then coming down into the library, I'm gonna WT so I can see my three-dimensional view and click on any part of the house, and my rotation will go around there. And so I'm kind of interested in what this looks like. I can barely see it, so I'm sure it doesn't show very well on the video. So let's go in here for now, and let's say architecture, window. I'm gonna go with the 4 wide. And 4 wide right here. Put those in here. And let's see, these windows are very small, and I have a big dining room, so I'll put 4 in there as well. And then this is my garage, and I'll put 4 in here as well. And I need a single into this powder room, architecture, window, and then I'm going to come over here and just pick the 1 wide, which is right here, and put that approximately right there. So I'll save my project, and I'm pretty happy with the location of the windows. I know that it makes sense for this window to be centered in here. And look, I can go all the way across to this plane and then come back to here and put my second dimension line, or third dimension line, but the middle dimension line here. And so escape, escape, click on that, delete, enter, and I'll do the same thing here. I'm definitely going to change the size of the windows, and I'm going to put transoms on top of them. And I'm actually going to change that looks that one in there, that's centered, so that's great. I don't have to do anything about that. This will be a fancy entrance door, so I can ignore that for now. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm trying to snap to the midpoint of that. Well, let's see, how does that look? So that's not equal. So I'm looking for my equal symbol right there. Escape, escape, click on enter, delete it. I'm sorry, click on the equal, delete it. And then I can click on the unconstrained or just hit enter. Revit is pretty sure that I want to unconstrain it. So it defaults the selection to the unconstrained button, and then I can just hit the enter. And usually it's easier to hit the enter button than it is to actually go and unconstrain it by hitting the button in the unconstrained dialog box. But nonetheless, still looking here, I still see that I have a little bit of a problem there. If I line this and this up, then this dimension is going to be not an even number. I put my dimension in there just to show you. This is an even number. Notice how the dimension snaps to a set distance away from the next or another dimension line. So the offset here, I remember from measuring it before, is an inch. So if I line this up with this, then these walls don't line up. And if I line this up with that, then this will be it'll be an inch less, which is unacceptable. We have to have equal dimensions in the inch component. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10 inches is acceptable, and anything other than that is not. So I see that I have an issue here, and probably the way that I will solve that is, instead of this being a 2x6 wall, I'll make it an inch wider, so that this wall lines up here and I can maintain this dimension. So that's a minor thing in terms of this class, but in reality, I would never want to see a jog like that in any room. That would just, to me, that would look like a mistake, and to everyone else, it would look like a mistake too. So that's the end of the first tutorial on the windows. I'm going to stop now. And then the second tutorial on windows will actually take a look at how I go in room by room and change the width of the window and add the transoms on top of it. And that'll make a lot more sense, because imagine what this looks like from the street. This is a pretty insignificant amount of windows. And I might even consider putting some more windows over here, because that's just a blank wall. So why not do that now? Architecture, window. Maybe I'll only put a 3 wide there and see how that looks. All right, so you can see that I need to do a lot of work with the height and the actual width of the glass for each of the casements that are there. But this is a good place to stop and allow you to go in and put your windows in. You don't have to go get Colby windows. I use Colby windows, not necessarily in my project itself, but meaning that we don't necessarily buy the Colby windows. They are a good quality window, but I use them in my Revit project because they are the best, in my opinion, that I've seen. And there may be better out there, better Revit windows families out there, but I'm happy with Colby. It does essentially what I want it to do. So I use them in my model. So good time to stop.